Something I love is when franchises branch out into animated movies or series to fully spread out their wings. More specifically, rather, spread their wings without worrying about dumbing things down for kids, because we all know that a lot of shows right now that are essentially sort of spin offs like Teen Titans Go or whatever, right? Are just dumbed down versions of like the original Teen Titans for Teen Titans Go and so on, right? So when franchises are actually able to go ahead and spread their wings and be able to go ahead and be in full form, it's really nice to see. I think depending on the franchise, creating an animated show or a movie can properly develop itself as a franchise successfully when it focuses on its story, where it can tackle a variety of aspects across a broad spectrum. For example, let's look at Marvel. Some of their past movies, like way back in the day, like Hulk vs. Thor, Hulk vs. Wolverine, Planet Hulk, The Ultimate Avengers 1 and 2, tackled story beats that destroy anything made today. Sure, in Hulk vs. Thor, it had tons of action, but have we ever gone ahead and seen the level of writing where all of Asgard recognized Bruce Banner as one of the strongest for keeping the Hulk at bay? Being brought back to life to refuse with the Hulk, taking him away from a death that he believes he earned, but ultimately recognize that he has a duty to go ahead and keep the Hulk under wraps. Like, come on. Like, this level of writing, this level of complexity in a character, in a movie, for that fact, in an animated movie back in the day, like 15 years ago, was amazing. And now I'm literally starving for that level of competency now. But as we see with like the Marvels and recent stuff from Marvel, we're not getting any of that. I'm getting too lost in the sauce here, but a few more examples would be look at DC with Death of Superman, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, Batman Hush, Flashpoint, all these stories with complex stories and with different levels of genre in them for a variety of flavors story-wise between them. It's a normal thing, right? I think you guys get the point when it comes to stories that can dabble in darker stuff and it can make lighter stuff have more depth and, depth and vice versa, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Now let's get into the whole recommendation here of Mortal Kombat Legends, where a lot of its content revolves around unique characters and their stories. There are 4 Mortal Kombat Legends movies, the first one being Scorpion's Revenge, Battle for the Realms, Snowblind, and Cage Match. The first one I watched was Scorpion's Revenge, and I cannot recommend this movie enough. It's spectacular. I love the way it's animated. I love the fight scenes. I love the story. I love how everything is intertwined together. Intertweaved. What am I doing? What am I talking about? I just love the story overall in this movie. It's just a bite-sized version of the Mortal Kombat, story that we know, which is nice. But it has a more Scorpion flair to it, which is really good to see. You get to see a lot of the story behind Scorpion, and it's honestly nice. It's amazing. Granted, like I said, these are bite-sized stories summarizing hours of story from the games in their own way, but it's still good. It's still good. Scorpion's Revenge and Battle for the Realms focus on the tournament we all know and love, for the most part. And, we love Mortal Kombat for this. Snowblind is technically the future, technically. And Cage Match is a movie fully made to embrace Johnny Cage on his way to superstardom in the 80s when he's still 22, 23, still a young lad, still a young guy. Now, I will say this, I'm going to go in reverse, right, from Cage Match to Scorpion's Revenge. If you aren't a fan of Johnny Cage and can only listen to him for a short period of time, I'm sorry, then I just don't suggest this movie because, this is a movie specifically tailored for Johnny Cage. So if you're not a fan of Johnny Cage, his antics, then I don't really suggest watching this movie, but it's good. It's definitely a good movie if you're into the whole Mortal Kombat mythos. And, there's a variety of other characters that show up too. So if you want to go ahead and watch it, just to see how it is, then, go ahead. If you absolutely love Johnny Cage and find him funny as hell, want to see a lot more of his kick-ass nature, then watch this movie. I think you will definitely love it. It'll make you laugh. It'll make you smile. It's Johnny Cage. Obviously, you're going to at least laugh or chuckle or, have that little, where you, exhale from your nose in not enjoyment, in, kind of amusement. Now let's get on to Snowblind. Snowblind is pretty interesting as it focuses on Kenshi in a post-apocalyptic world in the future where Kano is the ruler. Sub-Zero is a notable feature here in this movie, among others too. I'm not going to spoil that. Sub-Zero is I'm pretty sure in the trailer. But in Scorpion's Revenge, beautifully made, beautifully done, beautiful and bloodily shows us the destruction of the Shirai Ryu and the death of his wife and child, which bridges his involvement in the Mortal Kombat tournament looking for Sub-Zero. I'm saying this because this is just the general story we all know and understand from Scorpion's perspective of like even going to the Mortal Kombat tournament. So that's why I'm saying this. Battle of the Realms basically follows the conclusion of Scorpion's Revenge and just shows another tournament being proposed to end all future tournaments, all the while a secondary plot with Scorpion is in motion that will throw the realms into disarray. That's all I'm really going to say about all these movies, because it wouldn't be a recommendation if like I'm telling you the entire movie, the plots, everything, and you would essentially know about the movie, so why would you watch it? So yeah. All these movies have interesting plots and development for the characters it focuses on, and it's honestly really lovely to see. Overall, I feel like nobody is really talking about these movies, like this movie series, and it's a fucking shame. Definitely, if you are a fan of Mortal Kombat, I do suggest checking all 4 of these movies out. Hopefully, they go ahead and make more of these movies. Now, I just want to say about the series, I'd love for them to go ahead and focus on a Jax and Sonya chasing Kano sort of angle before meeting up with Shang Tsung or something like that, right? Something of that nature for the next movie, or another one focusing on Shao Kahn trying to reclaim the throne and Katana needing Liu Kang's help to fight back properly against his forces. Hell, I even take like a prequel where Kung Lao and Liu Kang prove themselves to be champions to Raiden, which could be pretty fucking neat. It would be great if other franchises can dive deeper into more complex concepts that doesn't revolve around more childish aspects 100% of the time. I'm looking at you, Marvel. I'm looking at you. All your humor, the way you do things, it's not it anymore, Chief. It has become a genre in itself. You need to stop. You need to stop. But anyways, I understand why they do it though, appealing to the general audiences, especially kids, to help make more money. As Angry Joe would say, money it's a sound plan. I'm not gonna knock it. However, when what they are selling basically becomes a genre in itself, it gets boring and people just stop tuning in because they already know the formula. All the stories they tell eventually follow this formula, and you can kind of predict it and kind of gauge if you want to watch it or not. And you don't want your audience to do that, to sort of like be able to predict your movie. You want it to be able to be unique in a way to where the movie itself, sort of like, gives itself a proper presentation, and it can't do that when it has the same formula as everything else, and you kind of know what's going to go on. So anyways, I'm going to stop talking right now. But honestly, that's it. All my thoughts on Mortal Kombat Legends, like the whole movie series. I definitely do recommend watching it if you haven't watched it or even heard of it. If you had time to kill, just go ahead and watch some animated gore and violence and action with some decent storytelling. It's pretty nice. I didn't want to give too much because, of course, I'm not going to give you the entire plot in a series I'm trying to recommend to you and spoil you guys. I'm not trying to do that, but still, but seriously, though, guys, thank you so much for 300 subscribers. Thank you for all the support, and let me know what you think of the movies if you do end up watching it, and if you already watch it, let me know in the comments. Let me know everything in the comments. I want to know everything. It'd be nice. So this is the end of the whole video. Now I know it's probably kind of short from what I'm usually doing, but I have other ideas, I have other projects I want to go ahead and do. Plus, life is looking pretty nice with some upgrades coming my way, so I'm pretty satisfied right now with how things are going. But still, for everybody else, stay safe and stay healthy, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Later, everyone. Have a great day.